and then I said, I didn't have so much confidence, and I was thinking this topic is too big, you know, for me to master or look at. And then I kind of backed out, I'm not going to do it, and then somehow, with Caroline's persuasion or encouragement, I decided to write my speech. So I'm just going to read it out if you don't mind. Yeah. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start my talk by sharing a few words about the recent events in our global community. We have just had an election in the United States where the entire political landscape has been redrawn by Donald Trump and his stunning success in last week's US presidential election. When I watched this process unfold, there were people who were truly shocked by the result. This is not what the experts were saying. Most people in the country were predicting the win for Hillary Clinton. So what happened? Why are people finding it so hard to digest what was a spectacular victory for Donald Trump? They are questioning, how is it possible for a TV celebrity and a businessman with no political experience to head the most powerful office in the world? The reaction from the people who voted for Trump, they were sharing their politicians at the top are not really aware of the reality of day-to-day life of us ordinary people. The people feel they are not included in the day-to-day decision-making. They feel disappointed, disengaged, and not being listened to, and feel isolated and underrepresented. One lady said, "We are tired of all this corruption on all levels of all political parties. The people just want a clean slate." When I heard about Trump's victory, it reminded me about the same shock that reverberated 5 months ago when the UK decided to leave the European Union. The results stunned the world. Nobody expected it. I must say, I was quite shocked myself. I thought we were going to stay as a European Union. And I just believed that the British people would think like that as well. But when I woke up the next day and saw the results, I was totally shocked. I felt it was a mistake. But anyway, I'm one person, but yeah. So what's going on in our society as a nation? Trump, Brexit, are a few current shockwaves. We are truly living in an uncertain world. Are our governments failing to meet and understand the needs of the people in their countries? Are they too much part of an elite club with ideological agendas completely out of touch with the day-to-day reality of the people? Brexit and now the unexpected election of Trump has sent a wake-up call. There is an urgent need to reflect and consider how governments are taking care of the people and what they need to change. How can we achieve good governance and an inclusive and sustainable society? This will be my topic this morning, the role of good governance for an inclusive and sustainable society. We are increasingly connected in so many ways. As a matter of fact, the whole world is. But we also live in a time of growing differences and opinion and interest, which in reality we are floating apart as a result of growing inequality within our countries. There was a horrible spike in hate crimes after Britain voted to leave the European Union towards ethnic minority groups. I must say that the Polish community for some reason were really targeted, and there was a lot of hate crimes towards them. And this was at least linked to the referendum. Also in America, we see in the news about the treatment of the African American people, their campaign against violence, of systematic racism towards the black people. The Black Lives Matters, a campaign that regularly protests police killings of black people and highlighting a broader issue of racial profiling and inequality. We can see and feel increasing tensions in our nations. We live in a time of great contradiction. We know to a large extent what should be done, but we don't really possess the tools to do it. And sometimes, not even the will is there. Now, for the first time in history, we human beings all share in practice the same world, linked as we are by technology, by trade, by communication, culture and commercialism. But we do on highly unequal terms. Globalization has led to decreasing poverty and greater similarities between countries, but also imbalances between social and human needs on the other hand, and the global market forces on the other hand. Huge changes have taken place during a short period of time. Today, the 80 richest people in the world, as many as could fit in a bus, have as much wealth as the poorest half of the world's population, 3.5 billion people. And economic and technological opportunities continue to drive increasing inequalities. Around the world, 60 million people are displaced or are in exile because of war, and many more have left their homes in search of a way to make a living. Good governance, fundamentally on all levels, fundamentally on all levels in order to create stable and prosperous societies, be it on the family, community, national, regional or global level. Global governance is, I believe, the toughest challenge, which is often the reflection of the family unit. This is a new and a complex playing field for our politicians and our faith leaders, which demands a new way of thinking and working together. We live in a world of low trust and increasing fear. We need to reconcile our differences, break down barriers and of intolerance, prejudice, hatred, and look at the root causes of these tensions. These are challenging times for our families and communities. There are many organizations working for peace and reconciliation. Our founders, Reverend Moon and his wife, Mrs. Hapjahan Moon, who are the co-founders of the Women's Federation for World Peace International, have tirelessly promoted and have elevated with their utmost to elevate the status of women. They have championed the work that we do and have always felt that women are the central axis of bringing about more harmonious and peaceful world. They believe that women are not just to help and be protected by men, but rather they are independent individuals who, as the representatives of the feminine aspect of God's nature, are meant to make men more manly. I found that quite interesting when Reverend Moon said this point that women are there to make more manly. Not that they're not manly, but the qualities that women bring that bring out that aspect of masculine beauty. So they are precious partners of love to men. In terms of value, men and women are absolutely equal beings. There have also been
They have also been creating huge numbers of platforms and foundations around the world for people of all faiths, cultures, creeds to come together to focus on concrete solutions to these pressing issues which our families are facing today. They have, over the years, set up different organizations to help realize and to help us realize and have more understanding and forgiveness, true peace through interreligious dialogue and cooperation that brings people together across religious and national divides. They set up education initiatives in promoting healthy family values through fostering respect and understanding with good ethical and moral education for our youth. They also set up projects showcasing how our good culture, sports and arts play a role in creating a harmonious environment. And a large amount of time and energy and money has been invested in our humanitarian service projects to help alleviate poverty and help the needs of the people who are suffering. All these projects, to name but a few, have been founded and are grounded in the principle of true love and sustainability. I'd like to share a few words from the late Reverend Sun Myung Moon, who has dedicated his whole life to bring the world of peace and understanding between people, regardless of faith and ethnicity. He has developed a deep philosophy and of peace principles to deal with those issues of good governance. He said, quote, no matter how great your fortune or power, without the foundation of living for the sake of others, all those things are short-lived and are destined to disappear. On the other hand, a life of giving and living for the sake of others automatically enables a person to become a subject and central figure. He emphasized self-interest and focus your work on a microscopic ideal of peace and further on reconciliation and forgiveness, then I truly believe you will be able to attain something of greater value than just material benefits. All barriers will be eliminated as people live with true love, become the owners and central figures of that age. Conflicts arising from narrow-mindedness and self-centeredness over differences of skin color, language, wealth, customs, geographical territories will disappear. The world is in the process of complete transformation, close quote. So good governance requires a heart of a parent for those they care for. A leader is there to serve and not to promote him or herself and take advantage of his position. Otherwise, the leadership will be short-lived. And society will suffer. Both masculine and feminine characteristics are needed to offer the best governance, and shared responsibilities are essential for securing and fostering stability. Finally, there's much more, but I think I better finally come to a finally. Finally, I would like to encourage everyone to take this golden opportunity being here together to really network and think about really how we can encourage each other to go forward. And myself, if I'm upfront, I'm not that confident to do public speaking, but like our first speaker was saying, put yourself out there and do it, you know. We've all got something to say. And the other point that Reverend Moon said to us, I don't think everyone has confidence. The only thing you need to do is to speak out loud. Exactly. That's all you need to do is speak out loud. Everybody has something to say. Don't speak quietly, but speak out loud. So on that basis, I think I've finished. Thank you very much.